That's a great spot to be in. Finally, the Eagles. If I were to say the Eagles are going to be the #1 seed in the NFC, would that be an overreaction?
I wish you'd ask me again in a week, right, after they've played the Cowboys. But I say no, it's not an overreaction. They're undefeated. They're on top of the NFC East. If they are to beat the Cowboys this week, then that'll put them in the driver's seat, not only for the division, but for the 1 seed, because as is the case with all the other teams in their division, the Eagles' schedule the rest of the way does not look very daunting.
Okay, so the Eagles are a fascinating team to me because of that man, because Jalen Hurts has been spectacular. He's been so much better than I think generally we expected. We wondered, will he solidify himself as the quarterback? Does he need to beat the Cowboys to do it? They've played a comparatively light schedule so far. Their strength of schedule is 22nd in the league. This isn't college, but it is what it is. Does he need to prove it to you by doing it against this really good defense this Sunday night?
Absolutely, he needs this win. And listen, let's put some perspective on this with Jalen Hurts. And again, this guy has won 5 games, so I'm not taking anything away from it. But Himbo gave me this stat because I asked him about beating teams. When Jalen Hurts is pressured, he's the 24th best passer in the league. When he's got a clean pocket, he's #1. That is a significant difference. So you're going to go face a team that wants to pressure you, wants to attack you. All eyes are on you and what you're capable of doing. And again, if you're Dan Quinn, you understand we have to force this guy to beat us from the pocket, because when it's RPO, he can pull that ball down. In their space, this guy is an absolute nightmare. So if you're Dan Quinn, you're saying, I'm going to make him beat me from the pocket, and he has to show you that he can win from the pocket and be the guy that everybody expects in Philly. It's an enormous game for Jalen Hurts.
Marcus, does he need to beat these Cowboys to prove it to you?
Yeah, and I know, look, Philly went to the playoffs last year, but this is the biggest game of Jalen Hurts' career. Like, this is the one, this is going to be one that we reference, whether we talking about him getting a long-term extension or whether we still trying to figure out if he's the guy going forward. Because within this division, the Philadelphia Eagles know that Dak Prescott is considered the best quarterback, and they need to know that they got a guy that can go toe-to-toe, playing that position. Jalen Hurts has been phenomenal this year.
Yes, sir.
But he ain't played a defense like this yet. So it's a lot of things that's riding on not only his performance, but how he handles adversity. He will face adversity against this team. And I know what people saying about Arizona last week, and the Cardinals played them tough, got into an early chess match with them. But ultimately, when you look in your division, when you trying to project down the road, all of the moves that Philly has made in order to continue to make this team better. We talk about how good this offensive line is, acquiring A.J. Brown, how the defense is playing. Our eyes, just like the Philadelphia Brass eyes, will be squarely on Jalen Hurts' performance in this game.
Yeah, I think it's about building confidence, too. They feel like they're the top dogs, but you got to kind of prove it week in and week out, and it's going to be the best team they face. We all talked about how the NFC in general is kind of weak. It feels like the Eagles and everyone else, but I do think this is a huge game for them, just also them believing in Jalen Hurts, believing in themselves, but they haven't had a game where they lost up front. They lost in the trenches. Right. And as much as I hate to admit it, these big fellas is where the games are won and lost in many times. And if Jalen Hurts is under pressure.
Say it again. Say it loud.
I refuse. The big fellas got to play well, and Jalen Hurts has been protected. That D-line has played well. This is going to be a game where even if the Eagles' offensive line plays their best game, they're going to lose some reps. They're going to lose some important reps because the other side is just as good as them. And what Jalen Hurts and this offense can do in those situations is going to tell us a lot about this team going forward.
Say it for the back row. Say it for the here in the back row.
Can I just say one thing? Graz, as I come to you. I mean, we talk about how the Eagles' schedule has been comparatively soft. Well, after this game against the Cowboys, they get the Steelers, who have 1 win. Then they get the Texans, who have 1 win. Then they get the Commanders, who have 1 win. So they've got there's no other way to describe it. This team, even if they lose this game, should easily be sitting at 8-1 at some point this season.
They should win all those games. Look, it's still we don't. It's an important game. Yeah. I think to Marcus's point, it's an important game for Jalen Hurts, right? Like because it's an opportunity to show, okay, this is a team that beat us twice last year on its way to the division champion, and we now believe we're the best team in the division. So here's our opportunity to show it. I think it's all upside. I think if he has a bad game and they lose, you go back to the drawing board a little bit. He's shown the ability to fix what they've needed him to fix, right? To work on things and improve. So that would offer that opportunity. But if he wins the game and he's great against this defense on Sunday,
We're gonna
then
move the goalpost.
oh my goodness,
That's what we're gonna do.
They start building statues.
I mean, if he wins
out
the
there,
game,
right?
if he wins the game, we're going to move the goalposts. We're going to say do it in the playoffs because he couldn't win a playoff game like.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we do.
If he wins the game and plays really well against this defense, then we're going to put him at the top of the MVP conversation.
That's fair.
There's no other reasonable way to look at it. This is a huge one Sunday night in so many ways. Hey, did you know the U.S. women's national team is going to play Spain? It's the second of 2 European friendlies. It's this afternoon in Pamplona. Coverage begins 2:30 Eastern on ESPN2 and the ESPN app, so you can watch from anywhere. Coming up, a Monday night thriller, a huge night for Travis Kelce. Huge decision by the Raiders coach Josh McDaniel. Did he make the right call at the end of the game, or did he cost his team the contest? We're talking about it. Plus another crazy roughing the passer.
That's bro. That's just.
You know, when you get the game, you got to win. You got to know that when Cain saw Abel, Cain looked at Abel and said, I'm Abel when there is Cain, so don't worry about me. We got to get the win. But I'm going to calm it down right now. Get right back to the show.
Oh, man.
Hell, so funny. And Rosananos with all that. You cease with the giggles. You cease with the giggles. We ain't here to get your plate open again.
The cookbook. That's what we wanted to rich recipe.
Now,
my grandma used to
now
make
it's time for your
banana bread.
tithes and offerings. We're going to let the worship leader take us to church. Listen, man. Listen,
Marcus,
man.
go.
I'm happy. I'm happy, guys. I'm happy. And thank you, Neek, for taking me to church. I was listening to gospel this morning. And I continue to need Jesus every week the Cowboys play, okay? Listen, I'm excited as anyone. As a fan, I'm excited. I left them for dead. I said it was over. G had to talk me off the ledge. He was telling me it's going to be okay, big fella. He been texting me during these wins, talking about, hey, I told you, because y'all know G like to be right. And when he wrong, he does not say anything like he has been either. Here's the thing, man. I love the matchup because of defense and offense. Like, let's be honest about what we're excited about. When you look at what Dallas has been doing defensively, I believe this is the most dominant unit in football right now. Dallas's defense is the most dominant unit in football. And when you look at the way that they play and the way that Philly runs offense is about space. It's about getting playmakers the ball, taking those deep shots. So you got Diggs who gonna probably be on AJ. Or they gonna switch it up. You got a pass rush against one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. You got the RPO game with Jalen and Miles Sanders. You got linebackers that run side to side. You got safeties for Dallas that come down and hit. This is the type of matchup that you want to see in the NFL with two really good teams, but two teams that have units that are absolutely dominant at what they do and top tier. And I can't wait to play it, because if they win, y'all, I'm telling you, buckle your tail up for next week. Buckle up if they win this game. And Lord, don't let it be Cooper Rush, because you think Dominique preaching right now. Wait till next Tuesday if Dallas get this done.
So the original construct